So I bought the Sony ZV-E10 and it only took 32 days for them to ship it to me, but I'm excited to unbox it and finally have it in my hands, and I actually brought along the Sony ZV-1 to introduce it to its new companion. Don't worry, it's not gonna be that bad. So to start off, we're gonna open up this box and see what's inside. Of course, you got all the directions and the warranty paperwork. Hopefully I don't ever have to read any of that. We have the USB charger to charge the battery. We have the USB-C cord, which can be used to power the camera and also to transfer files from the camera to your computer. I wonder if that's faster than actually taking the SD card out of the Sony ZV-E10 and transferring the files using the SD card. Have to look into that one. Of course, we have the strap that you're supposed to throw around your neck, which I never use because I'm constantly putting the cameras on gimbals and carrying them handheld and tripod, and they get in the way. We have the actual battery itself, which is an NP-FW50. And of course, we have the little wind muff for the microphone on top of the camera. And here is the camera itself. It feels pretty good. It's a little bit heavier than the Sony ZV-1. It feels a little bit more metally and less plasticky. I also picked up the kit lens that came with this camera, which was the 16 to 50 millimeters, so should be able to get wider than the Sony ZV-1. I really like this little grip that's on this camera. With the Sony ZV-1, we actually had to buy an aftermarket grip, so that's pretty nice. I like all of the buttons on the top here. We have a zoom rack, we have an on and off switch, we have a quick toggle between camera, video, and S&Q or slow motion. We have a background defocus button, a big record button, and knob that you could use for aperture or shutter speed. And these buttons on the back pretty much are identical to the Sony ZV-1. They're just in a different layout. Got a flip out screen just like the ZV-1. The battery slot's nice because it's seated so much further away from the quarter mount screw. So now we can put things onto this camera like gimbals and tripods and not worry about having the battery door get in the way. Also looks like that's where you put your SD card. The side of the camera has a microphone, a USB-C charging port, an HDMI port, and also a headphone jack, which is really nice. The kit lens that came with this camera has OSS, and I'm not sure what that stands for, but I know it gives it better stabilization. So I'm interested to see if the active stabilization inside this camera, along with the stabilization that's in the lens, create a super smooth footage so that I no longer have to use a gimbal, but I'm not holding my breath. I am gonna use the same exact SD card that I use with my Sony ZV-1. Sorry ZV-1 that I have to take the SD card out. It's only temporary, don't worry. And I bought a couple extra batteries so that I could throw them right into this bad boy and start shooting. So let me know in the comments some of the things that you were hoping for me to create with this camera. Maybe things like image quality tests, slow motion tests, stabilization tests, and I will start putting this camera to work. I would start shooting with this thing right now, but I have to go through the menu system to set this thing up, and I don't want to bore you with that. So I'm excited to finally have this in my hands so I can go out and start shooting with it, and I will report to you guys my findings as far as how good this camera actually is. I'm Joe with Film Alliance, and until the next video, peace.